Somewhere between 2009 and 2013, television died. Nobody sent flowers. Everyone bought stock though, so it's fine. Two former PayPal employees uploaded a video of elephants at a zoo and called their website YouTube. Netflix was mailing DVDs in red envelopes. Blockbuster had 8,000 stores and a stock price. Both of these facts will age catastrophically. Broadband penetration in the US was just crossing 50% that year. Half the country still couldn't stream reliably. The war hadn't started. Nobody had declared it. The generals didn't exist yet. One of them was currently figuring out how to monetize elephant footage. Netflix flips a switch and starts streaming. Reed Hastings describes it as a side feature. The side feature eventually becomes the entire company, the entire industry, and an entirely new verb. That same year, the iPhone ships, marketed as a phone, a music player, and an internet communicator. 3 products. One of them eats cable television alive. Nobody in the Mac world room knew which one. HBO's cultural dominance peaks with The Sopranos finale. It will spend the next decade defending that peak from people who never once paid for cable. Hulu Plus charges people money to still show them advertisements. A business model so audacious, it almost demands respect. Amazon quietly bundles video with Prime memberships, treating movies like a loyalty perk in the same category as free 2-day shipping on batteries. Nobody takes this seriously. This is precisely the correct moment to have taken it seriously. QUIBI launches in China, 1 billion potential viewers, 0 Netflix accounts. The Western streaming industry does not adjust a single projection. They are busy congratulating themselves on Canada. Netflix drops all 13 episodes of House of Cards simultaneously. This is the moment the word binge becomes infrastructure. A full season, available instantly, watched in one weekend by millions of people who called in sick Monday. Television had spent 60 years training audiences to wait 7 days between episodes. Netflix deleted that reflex in a single release. Breaking Bad is airing its final season on AMC. The golden age of television is real and peaking, feeding directly into the argument for why streaming is worth paying for. Hollywood is making the content that will eventually justify killing Hollywood's business model. Netflix launches in 130 new countries in a single day. A move so large it required years of infrastructure work and reads from the outside, like a casual Tuesday. Disney quietly acquires a controlling stake in BAMTech, a streaming technology company most people have never heard of. The mouse is buying the factory before announcing the product. Nobody outside of conference rooms understands what this means yet. Game of Thrones is the most pirated show on Earth this year. HBO counts this as a compliment. This is also not a sustainable strategy. Disney Plus launches, 10 million signups on day 1. The Mandalorian breaks servers, which is not a metaphor. Apple TV Plus launches the same month with almost no content and supreme Cupertino confidence that this is fine. Warner Media announces HBO Max. Peacock is announced. QUIBI raises nearly $2 billion to build a mobile-only streaming service with 10-minute episode caps. The pitch deck apparently did not contain the phrase global pandemic, which will matter enormously in approximately 5 months. This is peak streaming optimism. Everyone is building, nobody is profitable. The numbers are enormous and entirely fictional. COVID locks the world indoors and hands the streaming industry the single greatest unearned gift in the history of media's distribution. Netflix adds 16 million subscribers in 10 weeks. Disney Plus adds 50 million in 5 months, a number that took Netflix 7 years to reach. QUIBI launches in April, hemorrhages cash competing against every free platform on Earth, and quietly shuts down in October. $1.75 billion, 6 months. They blamed the pandemic for eliminating the commute their product was designed for. This is technically accurate. It is also completely, structurally, philosophically beside the point. Netflix loses subscribers for the first time in over a decade. Not many, slightly over 200,000. The market responds by removing $50 billion from its valuation in a single session. The punishment per lost subscriber works out to roughly $250,000 each. Netflix then announces a password-sharing crackdown and an ad-supported tier. The company that once publicly described advertising as the subsidized mediocrity model is now selling advertising. Stranger Things Season 4 drops the same quarter and briefly makes everyone forget all of this. Art as damage control. It works. The entire streaming industry collectively realizes that subscriber growth and profitability are not the same number. Layoffs, price hikes, mergers, HBO Max becomes Max, quietly amputating the most prestigious 3 letters in television history because focus groups said younger viewers didn't know what HBO meant. The writers' strike shuts down Hollywood for nearly 5 months. AI is cited as an existential threat in the negotiating room. The studios negotiate. AI appears in the final contract language. The war inside the war begins. Everyone signs the document. Nobody agrees on what it says. YouTube, the Garage Project, the Elephant Video website, the platform built on 10-minute upload limits and copyright violations, becomes the most watched streaming service on American televisions. Not most watched online, on actual televisions. Nielsen confirms it. The average American household now subscribes to 4.7 streaming services and spends more per month than they ever did on cable. Cord cutting was supposed to be liberation. It turns out, liberation has a monthly billing cycle, an annual price hike, and a password sharing policy. The bundle is back. It just has 5 logos now instead of 1. They rebuilt the television, charged more, and called it freedom.